The restaurant was packed that Saturday evening, golden lights reflecting off crystal glasses, the hum of wealthy conversations filling the air. At the center table sat Richard Harrington, one of the city's most recognizable millionaires, in a tailored navy suit that probably cost more than most people's cars. Beside him, his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, swung her little legs under the table, her pink dress sparkling under the chandeliers. And then it happened. Lily's eyes, big, curious, and impossibly kind, drifted to the table right next to theirs. A young woman sat alone with a toddler on her lap. The little boy was maybe 2, his cheeks smeared with mashed potatoes he kept dropping on the floor. The woman, Mia, looked exhausted. Her hair was pulled into a messy bun, her coat was old, and she kept checking her phone with trembling fingers, probably calculating whether she had enough left on her card to pay the bill after treating her son to his very first, fancy, dinner for his birthday. Lily tugged on her dad's sleeve. "Daddy," she whispered, loud enough for half the room to hear, "can I share with them?" Richard followed her gaze. He saw the single mom. He saw the way she cut her son's chicken into tiny pieces while barely touching her own plate. He saw the quiet shame in her eyes when the waiter placed the check a little too firmly. Before he could answer, Lily was already sliding out of her chair, holding the dessert menu like it was a golden ticket. "Hi," she said, marching straight to Mia's table. "I'm Lily. That's my daddy. We ordered too much food, like, way too much, and Daddy always says it's bad to waste food when people are hungry. Do you like chocolate cake? We have a whole one coming and it's huge." The entire restaurant went silent. Phones came out. Someone started recording. Mia froze, her face turning red. "Oh, sweetheart, that's very kind, but we're okay." "No, you're not," Lily said matter-of-factly, in that brutally honest way only children can. "Your little boy has no cake. It's his birthday, right? I saw the candle they brought earlier. Everyone should have cake on their birthday." Richard felt something crack open inside his chest. He stood up slowly and walked over. "Hi," he said gently to Mia. "My daughter's right. We did order too much. Please, let us share. It would mean the world to her." Tears welled up in Mia's eyes. She tried to blink them away, but one slipped down her cheek. I can't accept." "You're not accepting charity," Richard said softly. "You're helping teach my daughter what kindness looks like. That's priceless." The waiter, now thoroughly invested, wheeled over a second table and began transferring plates, truffle pasta, grilled salmon, garlic bread, and yes, the massive triple-layer chocolate cake with sparklers because Lily had insisted. Mia's son, Noah, stared at the sparkler with wide eyes and then did the most heartbreaking thing. He reached out with his tiny, sticky hand and touched Lily's cheek. "Pity," he said. "Like princess." Lily beamed. "You can be my prince." And just like that, the two kids were best friends. Richard pulled up a chair. He learned that Mia was a nurse who'd been working double shifts since her husband walked out a year ago. That she hadn't bought herself new shoes in 2 years so Noah could have daycare. That tonight was the first time in months she'd done something special, and she'd been counting pennies all week for it. Richard listened. Really listened. Halfway through the meal, Lily climbed into Mia's lap like she belonged there. "You smell like my old mommy," she whispered. Before she went to heaven. Mia's arms wrapped around her instinctively. Richard's throat closed. He hadn't talked about his late wife in years. Lily had been 4 when cancer took her. He'd buried himself in work, in money, in everything except feeling. But here was his daughter, healing in real time, because of a stranger's kindness and a little boy's sticky fingers. When the night ended, Richard paid both bills without a word. Then he did something no one expected. He handed Mia his business card. "I own a few medical centers in the city," he said quietly. "We're always looking for good nurses. The kind who'd spend their last dollar to give their kid a birthday dinner. If you're ever looking for something better, something with real benefits, childcare assistance, call me. No pressure. Just call. Mia stared at the card like it might disappear. 3 months later, she did. 6 months after that, Mia was head nurse at Harrington Pediatric Center, with full benefits, a signing bonus, and a daycare spot for Noah right down the hall. A year later, Richard stood in his backyard watching Lily and Noah chase each other through the grass, screaming with laughter as bubbles floated everywhere. Mia walked up beside him, holding 2 glasses of lemonade. "I still can't believe this is real," she said softly. Richard looked at her, really looked, for the first time in a long time. "Lily asked me that night if she could share," he said. "But I think she saved us both." Mia smiled, her eyes shining. "She saved all of us." Behind them, Lily yelled, "Daddy! Mia! Come blow bubbles with us." Richard took Mia's hand. And for the first time in 5 years, he didn't let go. If this story touched your heart even a little, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear that kindness still wins, and subscribe for more stories that remind us what really matters. Because sometimes, all it takes is one little girl asking, "Can I share?" to change everything. See you in the next one. Stay kind.